Live from the historic Ham Building in St. Paul, it's the Haberdasher's Couch. I'm Kendrick, inviting you to the show, starring Heimie and Dorset, featuring Todd Walker, also featuring Amy Charlo. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Heimie.
Happy Friday, and welcome to another show of the Haberdasher's Couch. You don't have to pay somebody to listen to it. If I pay you to listen to me, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry.
You kind of do.
Every single week you have to listen to me.
You kind of made me for it.
Well, okay. Maybe we can change that.
I work a little bit.
Maybe we can change that. Keith, there's so much going on around town, and I had Todd Walker on, talking about the Flint Hills and train days and wrestling and all the stuff that's happening. Amy Charlo was in.
Oh, I love Amy.
Demystifying hypnosis. And here we are. Last week, I don't know if you guys saw the show, but Keith, you built this beautiful double-breasted, was that linen and wool?
It actually is all wool. It's a wool gab. It's a fine wool gab. It looks like it's linen.
We were calling it a shark skin?
It is. It's more
has
gab.
attributes of
It
that.
does.
Oh, and Mr.
cool.
Dorset designed that.
Pretty cool.
Every time I think of inspiring thoughts, it's spring, weather's getting nice, I think of you. You're kind of the guru on the hill, the kind of guy that you go to when you need inspiration.
It's a lot of pressure.
I think you can handle it. You've proven it. At a master level, it's easy.
Raising the bar.
What you got for me? Inspiration.
What inspires me
Yes.
is getting better as a person. I'm inspired by that.
Right.
Getting better as a person.
Right.
And as we are transitioning and as we've had to pivot,
Right.
you and I both,
Yep.
for the last 2 years, along with other people, is really, I'm inspired by getting back to what we think is normal. I don't think it's,
Yeah.
what we thought was
Right.
one thing. So there was some discovery that we found
Sure.
out. And so I think we found out things about ourselves.
Right.
So I'm really inspired by taking where we are, because we've had to pivot, and I think it made us better. It made us
Right.
more aware, we have more empathy,
Right.
more sympathy,
Right.
and so getting rid of all the anxieties, all of the, just really honing in on faith and hope, those
Yeah.
positive things, and finding peace. I think one of the things that we were able to do here is really set a goal of finding peace. So I'm really inspired by, I found that I'm inspired by a lot of those things.
Yeah, and sometimes men, they don't get to talk about peace and hope and, the touchy-feely stuff. Heimies, you do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
we,
it's important.
we dress the man. We dress for how we feel inside, and then we talk about it.
Yeah.
Right?
I find it's really,
Yeah.
I
So,
think personally,
support,
that's my person.
good support
you have
system,
to, and I think
right?
part of, even as we have the small event space, it allows us to sit and have those conversations without using the word vulnerability and all
Right,
that.
right,
I don't
yeah.
think it has anything to do with that. I think it's just being transparent,
Right.
and growing as a small group, growing as a family.
Yeah.
Heime's family.
Right.
Now there's going to be some ups and downs, but I'm inspired by at least finding a sweet spot and really being consistent, and really focusing on some positive things.
It's interesting. You said earlier that when you take a step back and you say, "Wow, that change doesn't. If it didn't happen last night, it could happen tomorrow."
Yeah.
And if it didn't, and you can continually walk towards betterment.
Yeah.
Always improving.
Yeah.
I can do better at that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a point to be better at that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that those are the words of inspiration.
Yeah, because it's perfection, which is no one's perfect.
Right.
But I think just being consistent within yourself, just finding good,
Right.
being inspired by good.
Well, Keith, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and the fact that you came on the show and you made me feel better. So I tell you what, watch the rest of the show today. It's a good show, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, Keith.
Hi, I'm Amye the Hypnotist here at Heimie's Haberdashery, and this is Coffee Talk. Today we're going to talk about a really interesting phenomenon that a lot of people use using this. It's called a pendulum. Now this is how this works. You can also use any sort of an object on a string. Now I am not going to physically move this object, but I'm going to imagine it's going forward and back, forward and back. I'm just thinking about it, and it's starting to go forward and back. Isn't that cool? Now I can also stop it and have it say maybe go counterclockwise in a circle. Counterclockwise in a circle, in a circle, in a circle. Isn't that interesting? Now you can see why people used to use these for divination, thinking that, you know, what is this? Is this psychic phenomenon? Is this some sort of ghost speaking to you? Actually, it has a scientific explanation. It's an ideomotor response. By thinking of the movement, whether it's forward and back or sideways, your body has tiny little micro movements that it uses to actually create that movement. Just the tiniest amount to move that. So you can see why people used to use this for telling the future, divination, also the way that Ouija boards worked and seances with moving the tables and things like that. Of course, there were other ways to do that as well. But really, it's science. And this is also why it's so important for, say, athletes to really think through their routines correctly. Just imagining doing it perfectly every time. Because when you use your imagination for a movement, you create that movement in your brain. It's really interesting. The brain scans will show the exact same activation in your brain as if you were actually doing that. So, in real life, try to imagine doing everything right every time, and that will start to translate into everyday reality. And if you get a chance to give one of these pendulums a try, it is great fun. I will see you next time on Coffee Talk.
It's Todd About Town, Todd Walker. Entertainment, travel, and more. Hey Todd, what's new?
Happy Friday, and thanks for watching another show of the Haberdasher's Couch, where you don't have to pay somebody to listen to you. I tell you, when I think of gardens, I don't think of rock your garden.
Well, this is a big event.
It is. My wife wants to go.
Does she really?
Yeah.
It's Rock the Garden 2022, of course. This has been on hiatus for the last couple of years. It is back. It is happening on Saturday. It's a big event, man. It's $84 for general admission to get in. And I'll have you take a look at some of these the bands in the lineup. Yeah. And is there any of them that you stand out to you?
Rick Liff is that's the one that I know in the night sweats.
Low.
Yeah, I know.
Bambino.
Yep.
Divide and Dissolve. Yeah, it's going to be a big show.
Do you know Divide and Dissolve?
No, do you?
No, I don't.
All right,
I know Divide and Conquer.
Yeah, there you go. So that's happening on Saturday, down right next to the Walker Arts Center. It's really fun. I've gone in the past.
Eric Church is an American country western singer, huh?
Yep.
Debut album was Sinners, Like Me.
Yep.
And
he was a CMA Entertainer of the Year.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
He's going to be here at US Bank Stadium on Saturday. Doors open at 5 o'clock. I checked to see if tickets were available. Tickets are still available.
Yep.
They start at $95. That'll be a great show, too.
Hey, there's hope for you. He bought his first guitar when he was 13. If you start now,
I could be the next
You
Eric
could be
Church.
on tour. That's right.
I know.
So, 13th annual. Hey, is it Suds season?
It's Sud season.
What the heck? I see beer attached to the next three events.
Yeah, I know. So this one is the 13th annual, as you said, St. Paul Summer Beer Fest. I went last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, maybe it was right before the pandemic. It's happening out at the State Fairgrounds. It is really a fun event. You go in, and they have beer all the way around the perimeter.
Sure.
And outside, you can play that peg game.
Sure.
They have bags, so it's not just beer. It's like kind of a festival.
Okay.
It's fun.
Good.
Yep.
I love the state fair.
Yep.
So Northern Sparks.
Northern Sparks. This has been going on for a number of years. It did take a hiatus like everything else, and they always change the location. So it starts at 9 p.m. and it does go until 2 a.m. And this year it's going to be on along University Avenue and into downtown St. Paul.
How do they do that on University Avenue?
There's different spaces that are going to be open,
Okay.
and then you will go in there and you will see different, very experimental,
Like an
different
art
types of
crawl.
art. Yeah, but it's like really experimental, different stuff. If you've never gone to Northern Sparks, this is your year to go.
Right. German Days.
This is
Douche Tag.
Yes, this is German Days. It's happening at the Germanic American Institute right up there on Summit Avenue.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place.
Beautiful
And
place.
this is happening Saturday and Sunday. There's going to be beer, cultural events. They have games. They have dancing. A lot of people dress up.
Mm-hmm.
The food is fantastic. They have the German potato salad. They have the brats, the Wiener Schnitzel.
Let's not forget about the beer.
And the beer, of course.
Because they drink their beer warm.
Well, I've
that true?
had their beer there, and it has not been warm, but it's been great. Yeah.
I think in America you have to serve it warm.
Yep.
Weren't you in Germany?
Yep, I was in Germany.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I didn't drink any warm beer.
So, do we have to worry about the Tampa Bay Rays?
Well, the Twins versus Tampa Bay Rays, and we had a big win the other night.
Yeah.
I think it was 6 or 7-1. So the Twins are looking pretty good. So now they're going to play Tampa Bay. But this is the season of baseball, so
Right.
this is happening Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tickets start at $20. Very reasonable. It's right down there at Target.
We
Field.
should try to do a Great American Classic segment where we go down to CHS Field. And
I'll do that.
And we talk about what it was like.
Yeah.
In baseball.
And-
We could sit in the stands, eat
Yeah.
popcorn together, and you could tell me what
Oh,
baseball
I would love to do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Well, here's one thing that we do have coming up. We are going to do some travel-focused segments. To have some really great ideas. It's going to be fun. We're going to show some of the amazing bags that you have here
Oh, good.
at Heimie's.
Yeah,
We're going
yeah.
to talk about some of the top destinations to travel to this summer in Minnesota. We're going to talk about packing.
Dressing the
techniques.
dude.
Dressing the dude. Dressing the dude.
Who's the dude?
Travel. Yeah, in this case, it's me. So we're going to do all that. So we've got some fun shows coming up.
All right, Todd,
Thank you, sir.
great to see you. See you next week.